Hello everyone and welcome back to the tutorial series in which we have been learning about Office add-in. We are almost at the end of this tutorial series, and in today's tutorial it's going to be all practical. We are going to deploy a single sign-on SSO Office add-in to Microsoft Azure and the App Service. So without wasting any further time, let's jump into the demo. So first and foremost, I would like to share an article with you. It's like the gospel of this particular tutorial. I would drop the link in the description section below. This will help you publish your application to Azure. And in this tutorial, we are going to focus on following this article. So let me quickly add these two things side by side. So this is our code, right? And this is our article. The first prerequisite would be to have an Azure subscription. If you see, I have an Azure subscription. I have added the Azure extension and I have also gone ahead and signed in. So I have taken care of it. Now that you have signed in, you need to create an Azure web app. How do you go ahead and create an Azure web app? You can simply create by right-clicking on Azure App Services, create a web app advanced. You can actually select a location. I will select West US. Global default host name is fine. I will add a resource group. I will name it temp so that I can delete it later. But in your case, give it a descriptive name. Enter the name of the web app. I'll say Office. Let's say if it takes the name, so it looks good. Now it tells me to select the stack, and this tells me that I have to select LTS 16. But I think I can go with the latest one. So let's try with this, and I'll say Windows. That's good. New, create an app service plan. I'll just say to delete, just say enter. I will give it a basic plan. And I'll not create an app service insights. It's not needed, right? So behind the scene, if you see that it's provisioning the app service, so it created a resource group, so that's good. So here, if you see, it failed because there is not enough resources. But the resource group has been created. So let's try to add the resources manually. I'll say a web app, so create. I'll do it manually. I'll just give this a name. Temp to delete. I think I'm running out of quota. That's the reason why it's giving me a problem. So the best practices was to use Node 16, but it's all right. I'll use the latest version. I will say Windows. So it's trying to load the region. Let me select a region which is very close to me. So UK South. This is all right. Basic would not work because I have already exhausted it. This is fine as well. I'll click on create next. Database. I don't want to create a database. The deployment is fine. Networking is all right. I'll just click next. In fact, I should have just created the resources to save up some time. So let's hope that the web app gets created. Once the web app gets created, we should have a successful message. So I'll pause the video and come back within a few minutes. Okay, so it created it. So this is where it is. So the resource is good. What we need to do next is check if the resource is available. So let me quickly refresh the resources in my code editor. The resource is available. So this failed, but we can create it manually. So one thing that we need to do is we need to enter a key. Going back into my Azure portal, and I want to add the key. So environment variable, and let me add this key, and I'll set it to true. Perfect. So the key has been configured. So this looks good. So we have configured our Azure web app. Now, if we right click on the Azure Web App and open in portal, it should be able to browse it. So browse website, let's see what happens. It says, okay, the app is up and running. So that's good. Now that we have configured it, the next step would be to configure the package or to configure our code. So let me quickly go to the code, and the first thing it tells me to configure the package.json. So let me quickly go to package.json, and it tells me to search for start, which is out here. And it tells me that I need to start with the middle tier. Okay, so let me quickly do that. Perfect. So we have configured the package.json. We then need to say, we need to find the key starting pre-start, right? And find the entry in the script and delete it. So we need to go ahead and delete this line of code. The reason we delete this line of code because it tells me to go ahead and use the dev instance, right? It says npm run build dev. We don't need that. So that's good. So under script, this has been updated as well. I'll save the file again. So we have configured the package.json file. The next file that we are going to configure is the webconfig.json. In the webconfig.json, we first need to change our URL. So this URL is pointing towards Contoso, but it should be pointing towards our Azure website, from where we will get the website URL. The website URL can be found in the portal. So let me quickly go there. So let me quickly copy this URL and paste it in here. So it should be like this, which looks good. HTTP temp. So that's good. So we have configured our prod URL because we cannot have it to go to Contoso. It's not what it is. We then need to find the copy webpack plugin. So here it is, right? What we need to do is that we need to copy all the assets. We need to tell it copy all the assets from the particular assets folder to the dist folder. So to do that, I'm going to copy the section. I'm going to reduce it like this. And I'm going to change this section out here, right? This is how it should look. And I'm going to format it nicely. For any syntax errors, I think it looks good. So, and we need to save this file as well. So we have saved this file. Next, we need to update the manifest file. So to update the manifest file, the first thing that you need to do is we need to find and replace the support URL. Do I have a support URL? I don't think so. But first I need to go into the manifest file. But if you're doing it for app source, you need to add some documentation around it, documentation for your app. I don't have a support URL, but if you have one, you can add your support URL. I'm just going to point it to ppug. Okay, that's where I'm going to point it to. Where next I want to do the app domain. The app domain will be the URL of your website. Next, I need to configure the scopes. So for the scopes, I need to give some permissions. In this case, I think this is enough because for my particular app, I'm not actually even using the user profile. I'm just provisioning static assets, so I don't need it. But that's good. And then I can save this file back. So I'm saving the manifest file back. Finally, I need to find the .env file. In the .env file, we need to set the node environment to production because this is no longer development. So I can just save it. Finally, I need to go to the app.js file. So let me go to the app.js file in the middle tier. Out here, I need to copy all the code, replace it with this, and save it. So now that I have saved it, Next, I need to update the app registration. So I'm going to go into my app registration and I'm going to update this. So where is my app registration? The app registration was the one that had been provisioned for me by the in Azure. So let me quickly find that. So go back to the app registration in my M365 tenant. So here I will go in app registration, all applications, demo add-in. Here it is. So I have the app registration. I have found the app registration. It tells me to go into authentication and update these URLs, right? So let me quickly go ahead and update the URLs because this is a single page application. So I have updated the URLs and it tells me save the settings. Then I need to go to expose an API and I need to expose this API, right? But how? And I need to change this localhost 3000 with my website URL and I need to save the changes again. So I think this is good. So expose an API looks good. Let me see if it has the changes. No, it hasn't. So I need to click on edit. I need to change this and I need to save the changes. Hopefully this updates. So the client applications are good. So this is good. Now what I need to do is I need to go to my Visual Studio Code and run npm run build. So let me go ahead and build that. I don't see any errors, so I think it's gone through all right. Do I have errors? No. So let me go back and it tells me go to the dist folder, right click and just say deploy to web app. Now it's trying to deploy to the web app. So it's loading the web apps that I have. So hopefully our web app should be visible. Subscription. So it's loading my subscription. In fact, it has loaded it. I'll select the Visual Studio subscription. I'll say attempt to delete. And at this point, it should start the deployment and it would say go and deploy it. So next, what I want to do is I want to test my deployment. So it tells me to sideload. So let's try to sideload this particular thing in my M365 environment. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to sideload it. So I'll go into webinar ESPC. That's all right. I will go into a document and I will try to create a new Word document. And then what I want to do is I want to pick up the manifest file from the dist folder. So there should be a manifest file. Here it is. I need to copy it, copy as path. I'll go back here, say add-ins, advanced, upload an add-in. I'll try to upload an add-in here. So wow, it didn't copy it, so that didn't work. So let me try again. They reveal an explorer. Copy as path. Going back to my Word add-in, pasting it in, say upload. So it shows me that the name is right. It shows me that the add-in has been inserted. So one thing that we can check is we can click on right click, inspect. And when I say right click, inspect, it should point to my web application. Perfect, right? So here, my friends, you have configured SSO. And you have inserted the add-in as sideloading in your Word app. Isn't that awesome? I would like to add another tutorial at the end of this. The reason being, I want to actually help you understand a bit more about deployment to your organization and how you do it. But this was a long tutorial, so let's end here. I hope this tutorial was informative. Thank you for your time. Have a great day and bye-bye.